Okie dokie. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are live right now. Is that correct? Yes, I see it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
We are live
Yes.
here at Anime Impulse Studios in wonderful Southern California. If you're here, it's about time. Welcome to Relentless Weebs, the one-stop shop for all things anime, where we talk anime, the shows, the conventions, the community, basically all things. It's here where you learn about the kawaii philosophy. We're your hosts, Shelby Mcweeb and Andrew J. Landy. Shelby, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I am doing what God intended and sharing out the stream on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the rest.
Same. I gotta find out what that link is
you
so I can put
totally-
it up online.
You
I don't
just
even know.
ninja'd my entire pitch.
I did.
This is what happens. I'm gone for 2 weeks because I have no voice, and suddenly I've been replaced. But Shelby is like the all-encompassing, like evolved. So like now she's just like she doesn't need me anymore.
well,
But
you weren't replaced by anything. There was an empty spot on each show.
there was. Oh,
Yeah.
I did tune in a couple of times, so it was quite nice to see you doing a lot of work, guys. Thanks for putting up with me and my absences. I had no voice these past 2 Tuesdays, so it's great to be back again. You heard the lady. Share it out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, MySpace, if that still works. Zonga, LiveJournal, Tumblr.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can also doctor the link to put it in Habbo.
Wait, what?
Did you ever play Habbo Hotel?
Yes. So they
Like-
don't block the link.
Yeah, so they don't block the link. You
Is
can-
Habbo still
Oh.
alive?
I don't know. I hope
Put
so.
it on Penguin Club or whatever.
Penguin, Club Penguin.
Club Penguin.
Club
Oh,
Penguin
jeez.
isn't
That's
alive
dead, isn't it?
anymore. Yeah, they
It's
took
dead.
it down.
Oh, rip. All right.
I'm sending it to our
Put it on
producer
all of
Angelo.
your Discord.
Right on.
Yeah, put it on all of your Discords. That's someone finally gives us a
That's a
relevant
thing.
suggestion.
Yeah, that's actually like very viable.
Yeah, they're always like, put it on Gaia.
Yeah, we pick all the trolling ones, but like we haven't picked the actual correct
Yeah,
one.
Discord
Discord's-
is. We actually should really get a Discord.
Oh, yeah, Discord.
But that,
That would help.
but that would be good, folks. Yeah, do us a huge favor. Share out the stream as best as you can. Let your friends know that we're here to talk about anime, the anime community, and just whatever topics come to mind here. That's what Shelby and I do every Tuesday, usually starting at the 7:30 p.m. Pacific time hour. So, our guest for this evening, you might have heard this one grace the halls of a place called the Crunchyroll area. Is that correct, Shelby? Is that right?
Do they have halls?
Yeah, that's
halls,
just
I
a general term we use. So the halls of Crunchyroll, that's a thing now. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Digital halls.
Yeah, digital halls. There we go. The digital halls of Crunchyroll, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Elliot. Elliot, what's going on?
Hi. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for inviting me to the show. I'm here fresh off of Crunchyroll Expo, which is this past weekend.
Okay.
And got lots to talk about. We did a lot.
Okay.
You did a lot. You had 10
I
panels.
did literally 10 panels.
You did
10
10 panels,
panels.
and that's only this year.
My name is Elliot Trinidad. I'm telling everyone to call me 10-pound Trinidad from now on.
10-pound Trinidad.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're running at a 10-pound.
If you want to retweet, that
Yeah.
might be easier.
I would do that.
Yeah.
That's way smarter.
By the way, folks, if you are watching, again, sound off. Let us know that you are in here watching. We do see Weston Diaz is in the chat. Again, if you have any questions for us, any topics that you'd like to go over, seems like the main topic tonight is the Crunchyroll Expo recap
Link
and
is not
everything
good.
related. So these two got to go.
Wrong link.
I unfortunately did not. I actually had to take a weekend off to rest because I've been doing too much stuff. But
That's a con in itself.
I know, right? RestCon, like the not con convention. I didn't know what to do with myself, to be perfectly honest. But I did get to catch up on some anime. Like Carol and Tuesday was one.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good
I
thing to
haven't
talk
watched that.
about.
It
I
is
super want to watch that.
very, very
on
well
me.
done.
You would all just tag the wrong person on
Oh my
Twitter.
gosh.
Right.
Yes.
To that one.
So I see Titus James Goodman has said hello in the chat. So again, so Elliot, walk us
Yeah.
through a little about what you did. 10 panels.
Sure.
At,
So
yeah.
I do work for Crunchyroll. I'm a contractor for Crunchyroll. On paper, I am a host.
Uh-huh.
I used to do a lot of their YouTube videos.
Okay.
I did their talk show when Attack on Titan season 2 was airing. I would do this talk show called a Talk on Titan. It's
Talk
a few
on-
years
nice,
ago now,
nice.
but it's really fun. More recently, I do a lot of interviews and hosting and live event stuff with them.
Okay.
So Crunchyroll Expo, they had asked me to help cover their interviews or guests. Oh no, that's us again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, please continue.
And so I did a bunch of their like guest of honor interviews.
Okay.
A bunch of panels for some screenings.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of cool ones. I I did an interview, or I did a panel and presentation with Terumi Nishi, who is an animation director and character designer. She's best known for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, for Mawar Penguin Drum,
Yes.
for Saint Seiya, for lots of cool stuff. We got to talk to her about dogs, but also about labor conditions in the anime industry.
Oh, labor.
Oh.
Oh, that's pretty intense. I'm not gonna lie.
Both ends of the spectrum.
Okay.
That was fun. I got to talk to anime composer by the name of Yasuharu Takahashi. He's best known for doing the entire soundtrack of Naruto Shippuden and for Fairy Tail.
Okay.
And he's just like this. He's like this Japanese rock star kind of guy in his like 50s who just loves heavy metal and loves to talk about heavy metal. It was really awesome talking to him. And I got to talk to voice actress Xanthi Huynh. We got to talk about
Haru.
Persona 5. Yeah,
Yes,
Haru
yes.
from
Like
Persona
Haru.
5, Marianne from Fire Emblem 3 Houses. We got to talk about that. Lots of other stuff. But yeah, it was a really cool opportunity, and I put a lot of work into it, but I'm really glad it came out great, and I think everyone had a good time.
Okay. It sounds like you were just jam-packed busy.
I was so busy, like it was upsetting because I couldn't do like fun con stuff. But
Oh,
it was
yeah?
definitely it's 100% a work con. Sometimes you get those.
Now, how long have you been hosting for? In general and for Crunchyroll.
Yeah, good question. They're both closely intertwined because the first time I did like any big deal interview was with Crunchyroll at Anime Expo, I think 2015 or something.
Okay. A couple years back. Yeah.
Because before AX, Crunchyroll had that like live stage, and they do, they bring guests up. So they needed somebody to interview Teddy Lloyd, and
okay.
and they asked me to do it because I was familiar with his music. I was available, and so they asked me like the day before. So that night I was
You
just
were
like doing my research, like figuring out what questions to ask him. Like, oh no, do I have to like, because the thing also when you interview Japanese guests, you have to get those questions approved. You have to run them through a translator ahead of time, because make sure nothing's lost in translation. Also make sure like you don't put them on stage
No
and put them on
embarrassing
Right.
questions.
Nothing
Can't put them on
embarrassing.
blast, right?
right.
Everything's on limits.
Yeah. But so yeah, I was so nervous and just like spending all night like figuring out how to ask him interesting questions that he hasn't been asked 100 times before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not the standard like. So how did you get started?
Yeah.
What was your
Right,
greatest?
or like
I interviewed him and I did ask, how did you get started?
No, I think that's a
fine
good
question.
one. They usually enjoy talking about it too. I think that's a fine question to ask.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
stuff that like makes it sound like you don't know what they do. Sometimes
Right.
you get interviews where they're like, "So tell us about what it is that you do." It's like you could do a little better question than that.
That's like the gimme question. That's like the Fisher Price of like interview questions.
Right. So yeah, it's since in the time since then
Did you learn anything cool about Teddy Lloyd or?
Yes. Okay, so that was the year that Overwatch came out.
Oh.
And so I was like, one of my last questions was like, what do you do on your time off? What have you been doing lately? No. One of my questions was because I saw on Twitter that he's posts about Splatoon. And it was like,
He's
so
S
what's...
rank.
Yeah, he is S rank. He plays a lot. So it was like, how are you doing on Splatoon? And then I think his answer was something like, oh, really good. I love Splatoon, but lately I've been playing Overwatch. And then I think that was like the summer that Overwatch came out. So the entire crowd was like, oh, shit.
He plays Overwatch.
That was the year that there was 45 divas per square inch.
Yes.
That's.
I asked him who
low-
he
low
mained,
estimate.
and he was like, I don't know. He gave like a wishy-washy answer.
He didn't give you an answer?
No.
It's
He
like,
needs
it's like play the whole cast or something, or like was it something like that?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Quick shout outs here to Jordan Takea Caldio Felix asking how was Crunchyroll Expo. Sounds like it was a gas. I see Brianna.
We're learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who says hello? Tyler Allen Star also says kill it. And shout outs to Scott Cohen, Ivory Ice Han, and Sydney San, all watching the stream tonight. Again,
Did it
folks, again, if you're just joining us, we just started tonight for your weekly edition of Relentless Weebs. Again, your one-stop shop for all topics anime. So we are here with 10-pound Trinidad, Elliot Trinidad.
10
10
panel.
10
10 pounds.
Okay, like I heard 10-pound.
That's fair.
I heard 10-pound too, but I knew it was 10 panels, so I was like, well, there you go, ears. Thanks for betraying me.
So
but
now you are officially 10-pound
Gotta
Trinidad.
gotta
Yeah.
enunciate.
10
Yeah,
pound.
that's a thing for
fault.
tonight. So, no, 10-panel Trinidad, though.
Thank
man,
you.
man who has definitely devoted himself to hosting. So it's kind of fun interviewing a host as a host. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're actually
Yeah.
just sharing the stream now on Twitter, so all of his friends are going to hang out with us now.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got the link to work.
Nice. So, again, folks, if you have a question for any of us here
Internet.
regarding Crunchyroll Expo, which was just recently last weekend, correct? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm-
this past just a few
A few
days
days
ago.
ago.
A few days ago. See, that's how much time has passed. I don't know,
I know.
what event it is anymore. But if you have any questions about Crunchyroll Expo, if you did get to go and you want to share your thoughts on it, or if you have any general questions, let us know in the chat. We'll shout you out. Or if you're just stopping in to say hi, let us know that you're here. We'll definitely shout you out as well. So,
Transitioning from, we were talking about interviews and everything like that. Teddy Lloyd was actually at this year's Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
But so was Flo.
So it's
So
slow.
so I think that it's really cool to talk about, like, that
Good
there was
stuff.
Tyler Allen Starr is in the chat. We're gonna answer his question. Let's talk about music and then we'll answer Tyler's question.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. So there was a bunch of musical acts and they were all really, really sought after, really, really fun. Everyone went to them, and I actually ran into you at one of them.
Yes.
Did you go to Flow at all? Or?
I didn't. I missed it.
Okay, because you
Oh.
were busy.
Busy,
But
yeah.
I am a degenerate, so I
No.
made time for
Hell
a
yeah.
concert.
No, I wish I could have gone.
I made time for the concert. One of the band members, they kept on throwing drumsticks out into the audience for us. Like, they just kept on throwing more, a bunch of guitar picks, and they even split water on us. It was really cool. Yeah, they spit on me on his birthday too.
Spit on me. It was cool.
Yeah, the
you
one.
know what? Yeah, that's fair.
The one who spit. It was his birthday, and he celebrated his 41.
That was a
41st
birthday spit.
It was a birthday spit, the best kind of spit, and it was his 41st birthday, and he celebrated in San Jose.
That's pretty cool.
With
Wow.
us.
okay.
Wow, what a choice.
Imagine doing the openings for Code Geass. I always
Geass, yeah.
Code Geass.
Geass.
I learned it the guy online spelling way, so
okay.
I'm wrong. And then also the Naruto, it was opening.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting Dreamers.
Did they play
And-
that? I hope
yeah.
they did.
Yeah,
I
they
hope
did.
They
They
did.
did. So that was really, really cool.
Brendan McLeod, right, saying in the chat, love to get spat on, it turns out.
I mean, I love
As
Flo.
it turns out, when you get spat on by a celebrity, it's a different kind of
Any
spit.
interaction with Flo is my favorite interaction. So that was cool.
All right.
That flow and spit.
Yes, but it was mostly water, so it's fine. So
You said mostly.
I don't know. I don't.
All right.
Yeah. But how was like the set was cool. The whole concert was really cool, and everyone had lots of fun in the audience. So the Flow concert was really, really fun.
Okay.
And like I didn't grow up in San Jose or anywhere near San Jose, and a lot of people, like, I guess Flo played at Fanime years and years ago, so a bunch of people had seen them then, but I haven't been living in California for that long. So this was my first chance seeing Flo, so I was really happy. Everyone was just like being a fighting dreamer in the audience with me.
Nice.
That's so good.
Yeah, it was good.
So glad.
And then Teddy Lloyd was cool. This was an adult convention. Crunchyroll to new.
I guess so.
This
I
is
don't
our
know.
transition. Is New Crunchy City?
Okay, yeah.
Is an adult
Okay.
convention.
Yeah, we
It's
can
an
talk about
adult.
that.
What? Okay.
It's not.
It's not
but yeah, I get
wait,
you.
no.
I get you.
I need to differentiate.
It's not 18
HenseiCon is an
not
adult
18
convention.
but
Okay.
But
Okay.
Crunchyroll
It's like
City is a convention
for-
that can cater to adults.
Yeah.
That can cater to adults.
Okay.
If you
They
choose.
play stuff
if
that
you
old
choose.
people like us.
They played old people stuff, like, but also like there's an area for old people. There's
Hold
everywhere's
on.
no, like
The little
wait,
senior
sorry,
citizen
hold on.
pen.
Do they serve like warm milk for everybody too? Like
Yes.
warm milk and tea?
I got too
Do they-
excited talking about New Crunchy City. I need to calm down.
No worries. So it sounds like New Crunchy City is like
So we can talk about the
New Crunchy City.
because they did like this huge theming overhaul.
okay.
Yeah.
And it was called New Crunchy City.
Okay.
Basically the experience is that it like you go into badge registration, pick up your badge, and it's all that room is all made up to look like an airport terminal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cute. The badge pickup stations are like those airport desks. If you're like industry, you go to the business class section.
Okay,
They give
okay.
you like your badge looks like a passport.
Okay.
You pick up your program guide, and it's a newspaper that has like all the listings of
That
the,
was
of
my
the stuff.
favorite
That was
part.
really cute. There's like
pretty good, yeah.
benches and stuff. There's benches around, and then you go up. You go into the con itself, and all the signage is made up to look like train station signage.
Okay.
Like which train lines to take and kind of how
Which
to get
goes where,
how to
yeah.
get to which room and stuff.
That's cool.
It was really cute. They
was really
they
cute.
did a whole lot. Because it's really interesting that venue itself, it's the same as Fanime, right?
Yeah.
So anytime any other event takes place in the San Jose Convention Center, I'm like, oh man, this is like Fanime, but not Fanime.
Not
Like last year
Fanime.
CRX, it was great, same place, but in my mind I was
It was
like,
Orange
this
Fanime.
is like Orange Fanime.
Orange
yeah,
Fanime.
yeah. But it actually went. It went a long way for Crunchyroll to retheme that place.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
this is like me speaking as an attendee. I'd not known about any of this ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
So getting there, it was like really cool.
Oh, it's like really nice surprise.
Yeah,
Kinda
yeah.
Like, okay, this is a catch off guard there. Right on,
Yeah.
right on.
So my favorite parts about like New Crunchyroll City is something I'm rephrasing from earlier, that there is something for everybody. But most of the time at conventions, there's not something for not adults, like nothing like
Right.
too adult, like plugging HentaiCon. HentaiCon has a lot of things for only adults, but New Crunchy City has something for everybody, like in the adult fashion, adult style, and everything like that. Like there was, like I think the Georgie Ito gallery exhibit was
That's
like,
true.
Oh, okay.
was more like you can't like run screaming like with your you can't Naruto run inside an art exhibit. Like you need to like be calm and like look at the art and look at the pictures and everything like that.
I guess you could say that like.
I'm gonna ask the producer to put up a picture that I took
Ooh,
of the
yeah,
exhibit.
of the exhibit.
It sounds more like a grown up experience. Let's-
Something like that.
Yeah,
Like a lot of the guests and a lot of the setup, it felt like they were very conscious of what the demographic might be, and the demographic
okay.
would be people who have been to cons before.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
This
right.
isn't like a teenager's first con. I'm sure they'd have fun there, but it's
Yeah.
not necessarily made for that. But it's for people who've like, okay, I've been to Fanime or AX or like some stuff on the East Coast, Katsucon or something.
Yeah.
And Crunchyroll Expo was actually, in my opinion, they had a pretty good lineup of guests that appealed to like people who've been around for a while.
Okay.
And I think the biggest thing was that they just paid attention to the details of like the minor things that make cons really annoying.
Yeah.
Like getting your badge was super easy.
Oh, really? So
Getting in and out of security, like AX security takes hours sometimes. Getting in and out through security is honestly super easy.
oh, wow. So conventions could take note of what worked for Crunchyroll.
Also,
I
the
think so.
autographs.
Yeah. Autographs. Yeah.
Yeah. The autographs is every year I can get at least 3 autographs, which is
That's like
Kind
so
of-
hard to do at most conventions.
Right. it's
You
hard
have
to do
to
at most
plan your
conventions.
entire day around it sometimes.
yeah. And I mean, well, because I was working and I was also doing press, which I was really happy to do both. I really love doing press and I really love working conventions. I really love working and doing press and everything like that. But because of that, I always like can't really schedule around
Right.
getting things. But like sometimes, and I've done this both years that I've gone, is I've just been able to show up and be like, all right, what do you got? So it's a ticket system, and then you get a ticket and you can wait in line for each autograph. But they're set up into different sections, like, like 10 to 11 or, 1:30 to 3:30 or something like that. But you just get a ticket and you go wait in line with other people, but it's like set up in such intervals that you're not waiting like the whole day for it, and you're not like and it's put up ahead of time and everything like that.
Right.
So like
And it's also set up. The ticketing system helps to make sure that nobody gets cut off.
yeah.
You don't have the situation where people just line up to see to get an autograph or see a celebrity and then find out that like at the whatever hour limit, like, oh, that's all we're taking and everybody else is screwed. It's like, oh, if there's tickets, at least they don't have to turn people away.
Okay. So it's like it's set. You got your ticket. Good
Yeah,
chance
yeah.
You're gonna get it. Okay.
And
Right on.
it's interesting because like they weren't always this good and disorganized out the gate. Like I think this is the 3rd year of Crunchyroll Expo.
Third year.
Okay.
The first couple of years they had a lot of bumps.
Okay.
Like
First year
last
convention,
year,
yeah.
like last year, sometimes security wasn't That's such like a hard thing to do too. Security with like making sure that everybody at the security gates know what to enforce and what not to enforce.
Right,
Yeah.
'Cause
right.
sometimes you get a lot of terrible situations where it's like, oh, you're trying to walk in with a cosplay that has metal in it. We don't know. We weren't told how to handle this exact situation, so we're gonna tell you to leave.
Yeah, like
Right, and that sucks.
It's like, dude, I paid for like
Right,
nothing.
and like they don't know the difference. Right,
Right.
they're just like hired security guards, but it's not their fault. They should, like sometimes they just don't know all the specific situations for these really specific convention
So there was a lot
circumstances.
of really good. So there was good communication amongst.
Yeah, it
everyone.
seemed like it. It seemed like
Yeah.
it.
That's good.
Another thing is, I think and the range of guests was actually really good. Every year that I've gone, I've been really, really happy with the guests because they bring, favorites from the U.S., within American convention culture, but also some of our favorite Japanese guests from overseas. I was able to basically waltz right in and get Yu Asakawa's autograph, who
Okay.
I wanted to go because she was going to be there. And it was, I thought I'd never get a ticket, and I did. And she voices Luca from Vocaloid and Ryder from Fate Stay Night. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
All right.
But I also voiced, I didn't voice, I also got an autograph from Kira Buckland, who
good
we've
old
had
Kira.
on the show before.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
And she's really cool. She's really nice.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. So and that and I was able to just schedule that in. And Angela's putting up the picture now.
Right.
Of me and her.
Oh, there it is. Yep, it's
yeah,
up.
there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
It's
go.
actually right in between. It's like right here in this area, right? No, like
There
this
she
area.
is.
Yeah. You gotta look a little more to your right. There you go. Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take a quick moment here to make a quick plug. Again, a huge thank you to Anime Impulse. Folks, we're getting into those later months of the year. This does mean we're heading towards Halloween, everyone's favorite holiday. If you're looking to start your Halloween celebrations a little early, I know some of you have already have, but October 24th, you want to check out Insanime. So Insanime, that'll be happening at the Reserve. That is in Los Angeles, California. There will be dancing, there will be games, there will be music. If you are of age, there will be drinks as well, but most of all, there will be costumes and there will be fun. Visit animeimpulse.com for more details on the Insanime party. Again, October 24th. That is at the Reserve in wonderful Los Angeles, California.
Nice.
Get your tickets soon before they run out. Again, Insanime. Again, look towards animeimpulse.com for tickets and more info. I love it. They're talking with the hands. It's like, what do we do here?
Yeah, it just makes sense.
It really does. So,
How are the comments doing? How's everybody doing? Sound off in the comments. Tell me how
wow.
you're doing.
Titus,
Come up in the
actually,
chat.
Titus James Goodman asked, did Crunchyroll announce any new anime?
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did. I don't even know all of them.
Umazeki? Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know that one.
So the Junji Ito.
Oh, Uzumaki. Got it.
Uzumaki, okay.
Uzumaki.
Uzumaki.
Yeah, Uzumaki is a famous horror manga
Yeah.
by
Okay.
Junji Ito. And they announced at one of Junji Ito's panels that is getting a new anime adaptation.
Yeah.
And it's not a Crunchyroll adaptation. It's actually a Toonami thing.
Well, okay.
But it's really exciting because it's got the soundtrack. Soundtrack is being done by Colin Stetson, I believe, who has done Hereditary and Midsummer.
Ooh.
So if you know horror films, you've probably seen Hereditary and are just like in love with those soundtracks. So they're really sick.
I feel really uncomfortable just
good.
like thinking
you?
about
I love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's directed by the animation director, whose name I don't recall, but who has done Mushishi and Flowers of Evil.
Okay.
Both of which are really good, really good at capturing atmosphere.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah, Uzumaki, it's the spiral one. It means spiral, but it's like the biggest title and everything. And it took a while because he wanted to kind of like feel like confident about the anime adaptation that would be made. So he was the one who was like taking a while to have his work be made into an anime adaptation. But this is probably the most famous one that he's done. Like this is like his trademark series, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Did they give a tentative release date for Uzumaki, or is it still?
Good question. Let me check. I
Okay,
don't know.
so because it sounds pretty intense, and if it's already getting all the accolades here, then
Right.
yeah, it's good. It definitely sounds to be good.
Yeah,
so.
I'm real excited for it. I think it's coming out this year.
Okay.
Wait, well,
Let's see.
How much 2019 is left? So I don't know.
There's about this
There's-
month and then 3 more.
So like within a year from now.
So
Let me see.
okay,
Naomi Uzumaki adaptation.
they're definitely
2020.
2020.
Basically.
It's a mini-series, a 4-episode mini-series. It's
Okay.
going to air on Toonami in 2020 before it premieres in Japan, so US first.
Okay.
Which is really interesting. I think that's why Junji Ito
Uh,
has been doing a lot of American appearances.
oh, okay.
I mean, that's my guess.
Okay.
Because before Crunchyroll Expo, I think in March he was at Anime Boston, I think.
Okay.
Which is like before like this year, before the past couple of years, Junji Ito's been pretty like hard to find. Like he doesn't make a lot of like in-person face appearances
Oh,
ever.
okay.
And so in the past year or two, he's actually been out in the open
He's
more,
been, like,
been able,
setting it up, yeah.
and able to like talk about his work and like and especially like making just like building bridges with an American audience, which has been really interesting.
Okay.
Really cool. He's a really cool guy. He's like really, for somebody whose entire career is like horrifying, terrible nightmare stories, he's just like this really regular man.
He likes cats.
He likes cats a lot.
But his wife has a lizard.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. At the panel, he talked about how his wife got a bearded lizard without his permission. Like, not without permission, but like without him knowing.
Like,
And
surprise,
so he
yeah.
got home one day and it was like, oh, this is weird.
Oh, okay.
But he has 2 cats.
Oh, gotcha.
And he thinks they're cute.
All right, Grant McCarter is asking. I don't know if we're all able to speak on this. Is Crunchyroll working to expand the Gundam library? Now, Iron-Blooded Orphans and Origins are great,
Right.
But I'd love some more of the older stuff. So,
That's a good question. I don't directly deal with a lot of licensing stuff, but
Right.
I do know that a lot of Gundam titles usually because they're licensed, like Bandai owns Gundam, so when they come to America, they usually come through particular other routes. I think because Bandai used to own a streaming platform.
yeah.
And so for a while, all the Gundam stuff was there. And then sometimes I don't know if they have Gundam as anything on Funimation right now, but basically like the fact that they're not just owned by like a Japanese TV station or
Right,
like just this
right.
particular studio, but like Bandai already has a presence in America, so
Yeah.
they usually find some other way that's probably more profitable for them. That's why they don't end up on Crunchyroll necessarily.
I will tell you right now that a lot of the Gundam series are on Hulu.
They're on Hulu. You're right.
I discovered this over the weekend during my non-convention convention.
I want to watch the original Gundam. I don't know where to find it.
I think it's actually on there.
Okay,
so.
I gotta watch that.
So another thing I want to ask you is, so you did 10 panels. Were they all interviews or?
Most of them were interviews. Only 2 of them were screenings.
Okay.
Where that also contained an interview. But I did a screening for an OVA called Island of the Giant Insects,
Yes.
which is just based on like a horror manga of giant insects that like kill people.
Scary.
Such an uncomfortable.
And like talk to the producer about how it's made and like what they want to do with it. It's like a very like it's like an ecchi manga. Yeah, it's like a little bit horny, even though it's about
It's horny and
it's,
full
you know,
of bugs.
Yeah,
That's like the
you
worst
know,
first date ever.
You know those like shows that are very like 18 up because it's like blood and gore, but also like sometimes nudity because like we already got one, so let's get the other.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
might as well. We're right
Get
there.
that
Yeah,
in
it's like
there. No,
Okay.
I mean, like the topic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's based on a manga that's very much in that vein. That has a bunch of bugs in it. The manga is drawn by written by this mangaka who is really into, I forgot what it's called, but like bug biology, whatever the scientific term is.
Oh, I'm blanking on that
Yeah.
right now. I know exactly what you're talking about.
But like it's interesting because all the bugs are very like scientifically sound, except gigantic
Okay.
and horrifying.
We went from anime to bug anime, and now I've got creepy crawlers. I've the feelings.
So speaking of Crunchyroll Expo,
Yeah.
it had fun things for the whole family.
Oh god.
I don't know.
City
There
bugs.
was a bunch of cool stuff there, and I just want to talk like if you wanted to get like a schedule, you would go into a little newspaper box and you'd pull it out.
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
wholesome.
It's witty.
I love the newspaper thing.
Yeah, I liked that everything, and then we're gonna put up pictures. Everything was kind of very planned to a T. Like when there were screenings, there was a movie theater. Like they had
Okay.
a
Oh yeah.
a
Okay.
movie. They set up a physical movie theater,
Yeah,
sort
yeah,
of.
Oh,
In the
okay.
picture that's going to be put up, it looks like I'm not wearing pants, but I am, and I think that's an important distinction to make. Another
In
picture.
every picture, you need to like clarify. I'm wearing pants in this.
Oh, that's the tag. Okay.
Yeah.
One-
By the
yes.
way, I'm wearing pants.
By the way, I'm wearing
By
pants.
the way, I'm wearing pants. That's how you end everyone.
Yeah, every sentence.
Okay.
It's like des.
Oh, no, please don't bring that back.
Oh, there you go. Picture on the.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
we are. And
Cinema.
then there was also Okamoto Kitchen did a collaboration with Crunchyroll Expo.
That's surprising.
Okamoto Kitchen is our friends. They come on the
Yes.
stream sometimes and hang out with us and make me eat things.
Uh,
I always volunteer and had to be blindfolded and have to like if I
Oh,
get
really?
if I
Yeah.
get
Like, you
trivia
taste test.
yeah.
if I get trivia right I'm guaranteed like good, but if I get it
What?
wrong, so the person who works for Okamoto Kitchen is one of my friends, so he knows which anime I don't know trivia about and which ones I do.
Right.
So he, I have to answer trivia right to get delicious Okamoto Kitchen food, and if I answer the question wrong,
What do you get?
You don't want to know.
you can watch past episodes
There
to
are-
see me having to eat a Thor hammer.
Or
Oh.
or who knows down the road, Okamoto Kitchen could be back. It's actually a coincidence that I'm wearing the Okamoto shirt.
Oh, I forgot.
Yes. So, how could you forget? We didn't even plan that. So,
I know.
but
But anyway, they did a Hime collaboration.
Yeah.
Because it's canon that the Haru Twitter run by Okamoto Kitchen looks up to Hime, and
Oh.
well, not because that's a little fact. But like there's like a running joke with the Okamoto Twitter too that like Haru looks up to Hime. So they
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah. So it's cute, but in general, regardless of the memes, they did a collaboration with Hime and Haru as friends on the Okamoto Kitchen box,
Mm-hmm.
and then had like cute little bento and cute little
He's
punch.
doing a lot of collabs.
Yeah.
I heard that they announced a collaboration between at this con, Hime and Kizuna Ai.
I bought
are
the stands
doing-
for that.
Is it like a what is it? Is it like a clothing thing or like a video collab or?
It
I actually
was-
didn't see it. I didn't know what it was.
I went to it. It was more you could buy a lot of things, and also
That's true.
yeah.
you could buy
general.
things, and there would be
Capitalism.
merchandise that had Hime and Kizuna Ai being friends.
Oh.
And like some suckers whose name began with S and ends with Y would totally buy them, and then now it's in their kitchen
I
set
heard
up.
somebody went to the Hime Kizuna Ai like booth setup and they said like Kizuna Ai, you're a home wrecker.
Oh no.
Because Hime and Miku are canonically dating.
Oh,
I know.
They are.
Okay.
I ran into Sailor B at Crunchyroll Expo, and I said, "I'm a fan of your work," and she said, "Here's a little print of Hime and
Those are, like,
Miku as a
pre-planned.
ship."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, thank you. I didn't expect this."
Oh.
So that was cool. But I think it's canon now that there's just Hime's in like she's what? She's like a young adult.
I don't know.
Yeah, we can't hold Hime down. We don't know what she's
If I
doing.
recall the actual like there's lore behind like half jokingly there's lore behind it.
Okay.
I think Hime is a kitsune spirit who's like thousands of years old. That trope. Yeah.
Ah, one of those.
Yeah.
One of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I recall, I might be wrong. I'm not the expert.
Okay.
Well, I think so. That was that Kizuna Ai. Like it was like because when I saw Kizuna Ai was announced, I was like, how does that work? Is it omnipresent like a deity? Like is she just gonna be there? Like her spirit?
She's here right now.
Yeah. Right.
She'll be like, next time I wait too long to book someone, I'll just have Kizuna Ai as a guest. But yeah, so that I guess that was her being there. That was her physically being there. Was her collabing with Hime.
That's
so
cool.
I bought the stands because it meant that you could have a Kizuna Ai stand and a Hime stand. And
Yeah.
yeah. So that they
And make them kiss.
no. They're sitting on my booth. They're sitting on my bookshelf. They're going to be sitting on my bookshelf with Todoroki and Momo.
They're gonna kiss.
No, well, Todoroki and Momo, they can kiss because they're both Valentines. It's who we're
Okay.
not. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. You know,
Because we totally hijacked you right there. Quick shout outs here to Harmony Lilith Bartlett and Ernie Barajas, the director of entertainment from Anime California, also watching in. Hello, folks. Again, just a quick check in here. You're watching Relentless Weebs, your one stop shop for all topics anime, the anime community, conventions, and all the like. It's here. Again, you're learning about the kawaii philosophy. Your hosts, Shelby Mcweeb, Andrew J. Landy. Our guest for this evening, you've seen him hosting things at Crunchyroll. Give it up for Elliot, 10 Panel Trinidad. Elliot, how are we doing
Thank
so
you.
far?
Great.
Yep.
Love it here.
So as fast as you Ken, as fast as you can, tell us all 10 of your panels.
God, okay. I'm going
Here we
to
go.
forget them. Okay, so I can do them in order.
Yeah, it's probably safe.
Because I'm gonna open up my cheat sheet.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you're looking at your schedule. That's like the easiest thing to do, right?
No, I can remember. First panel was Zanzi Huyn. We talked about voice acting and cool stuff. Second panel with Yasuharu Takahashi, composer. We talk about how to make music. We talk about his music on Zombieland Saga, his music on all sorts of cool shows, and him making how he makes heavy metal and stuff.
Okay.
Third panel was a screening with for the Island of Giant Insects, an OVA. It was about giant insects.
Yep.
Yeah. Fourth panel on Saturday was interview with Mike McFarland, who's a voice actor and a dub director at Funimation. And we actually got to talk about cool stuff about how dubs get made. Like one of my questions was like, okay, when you have to like rewrite a joke from Japanese into English, make it fit the mouth flaps and still make it be funny. How do you do that?
Okay.
And so we got to talk about like, what all the work that actually goes into making a dub that is like good compared to like, because like dubs have been increasing quality so much, I think, in the past couple of decades.
Yeah,
Very, very
in the
much so.
past 5 years especially.
Yeah. Fifth panel was another one with Yasuharu Takahashi, and it's specifically called Composing for Shonen Anime. We just talk about music from Naruto Shippuden and music from Fairy Tail. And some cool tidbits about that were that like he when he wanted, because he worked on the entire anime of Fairy Tail for like its 10-year run, and he was approached to do the soundtrack from it because he was known for a bunch of other stuff. So he figured out like the sound of Fairy Tail, which itself is basically like if you mix heavy metal and Celtic music.
Ooh,
yes, it
Celtic
sounds
metal?
sick. Yes,
Nice.
literally Celtic metal. He figured out by like when reading Fairy Tail, he kind of like pieced together the sound of this world, how it's very like action based and has this really old world themes because it's about magic and stuff for an adventure. And so he just looked into Celtic music and was like, I can mix this with heavy metal.
All right.
And he made the theme for. He made the main theme for Fairy Tail, which is very recognizable as a Fairy Tail fan. He made that in like, that's the first song he made to pitch the idea of Celtic metal, and he made it in like 4 hours. Which is really quick for music composition. And it's one of those things that just like came off the brain for him and was like instantly great. Like he didn't have to toy with it very much, and it's so cool. He said it's one of his most favorite compositions he's done in his career. So he was so happy to talk about just making heavy metal music.
Nice.
So that's like, he just loves it.
Okay.
Interview after that, I think sixth one was with animation director and character designer Terumi Nishi.
Okay.
She's best known for doing the character designs on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 and for Mamoru Penguin Drum. And it's interesting, like a cool tidbit about how anime is produced is that like when you think of character designs, you're usually thinking of like who just drew the original characters, who came up with them. But for anime, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Because sometimes you're working from a manga that that already has drawings. You're working from concept art. But what character design in anime production means is that as a character designer, you have to redraw and kind of define every angle and every piece of this character to make sure that that it works for animation.
Right.
Because like a lot of things that you can paint just like don't work in animation form. And two is so well defined and like so perfectly mapped and like everyone can see and understand that like any of the animators, full-time animators, key animators, part-time animators can look at this character sheet and just like be like, okay, I don't need to ask you when he turns around, what does the sleeve look like?
Right.
I don't need to ask you what the back of his head looks like. And that's like really tough. That's like a lot of work because it's like figuring out every single angle instead of just making an interesting drawing. It's
right.
Like, you got to know all of these characters, like, and especially stuff like, oh, when this character like laughs, how does his face move? It's not just like you give him a happy face. Like some character, like a good character has like a different looking laugh than a different character.
That makes sense.
So that was really cool. We got to talk about character design. We got to talk about the anime industry. Terumi Nishi is really interesting because she is one of the few animation directors that is really accessible online to an English audience.
Okay.
She has an English Twitter, and she talks about the industry. She talks about how people are overworked and underpaid, and how it's like anime is so successful looking from the outside, and she loves doing it, but like it also means that it's really easy to like exploit the lowest level workers.
Right.
Similar to like the video game industry. You know, it's like a lot of people get exploited and it's awful. Some people overwork themselves. I'm sure you've heard stories of like people overworking themselves to the point they get like heart attacks, they have to go to the hospital. Sometimes they just die of overwork. And like she's one of the few people who's in the industry who's like really willing to talk about that to an American audience.
Well, that's
and
good. Yeah.
One of the takeaways from her panel was that like the ways, you know, if you're an anime fan and you really want to support the people who make it, you know, it's good to buy stuff, it's good to support the works, but like at the same time, that money doesn't actually go to the people on the ground level who are like doing the drawings.
Right.
So one of the best ways is just to find your favorite artists. Like if you watch an anime and you're like, wow, this animation scene is awesome, you can look at the credits. They're available in English online. You look at them, see if they have like social media, follow them. And usually these artists have like Patreons like everyone else. They have websites where you can just share their stuff. You know, if you want to donate to their Patreon, you can do that. But if it's as much as like sharing just their original artwork, that helps them a lot. And especially ask for them at conventions.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah, because Nishi said that the only reason she was here in America at Crunchyroll Expo was because she worked on JoJo, right? That's her big break. But there's so many other really, really talented artists and animators who just don't have their JoJo moment, and she really wants them to like be able to experience the same thing of like not only just being able to come to other countries and conventions and meet fans directly, but also just like it does so much to their like self-worth kind of just to feel like, you know, like there's so much more than just working day in day out, being able to meet the fans who like enjoy this and like who have this meaningful connection within it. It's like helped her so much in her day-to-day work.
Yeah, Connor Healy in the chat chiming in, saying poor Togashi and how he suffered in the manga industry.
Oh, yeah. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I've heard quite a bit. Like a lot of manga illustrators, especially, just like have crazy deadlines, so much that they're worked to injury.
It's almost like you're working like almost 120 hours a week, which is inhuman.
And they have like assistants that live in their house sometimes.
Right. Yeah, and it's not sustainable, really. Like, you know, part of the reason why people have to just why these artists have to keep pushing out manga and anime and stuff is just because there's a high demand for it. There's a lot of money in it from the outside, but that money doesn't, you know, trickle into them.
Right.
But like, there's still that demand for it. So it's kind of like, you know, do you want to keep your position? You gotta make these deadlines.
Right.
But that sucks.
Yeah.
The one thing I think you kind of hinted at this is that, you know, check the credits of like whatever you're watching or whatever you're looking at.
Yeah.
There's always credits to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's say if like we're on Netflix and the screen immediately goes to like, hey, do you want to play the next episode? You can actually go back and check the credits and see, hey, like who did this?
Right.
And you can see your favorite animators, and then you know you've got this great thing called Google, where you can actually like
you don't need to do that every time, but like if you find shows that you really mean a lot to you, it's super worth looking up who's the who's on animation staff, who directed it, and like also just to be like, hey, what else have they worked on that I probably am into?
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. You can see like, oh, they were on this, and now you've got like a greater appreciation for something that you already had a fine appreciation for. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're almost in home stretch. 4 more panels.
Oh my gosh!
Believe it?
That was 6.
Can you believe it? See, that was my weekend.
10 panel
like,
Trinidad.
Oh,
okay. Right on.
After that, I did a screening for an anime that is premiering in January of next year called Inspector. It's like a mystery fantasy, not fantasy, mystery, like supernatural. It deals with like yokai and like spirits and stuff.
Right on.
And about 2 characters who are kind of, I don't want to say detectives, but like they figure out like sort of murder mysteries type stuff, or like what's going on in the spirit world and how it's affecting human world.
Okay.
And it, I was brought on to introduce it to an audience and to interview the producer. I hadn't seen the anime before, right? Like I see it along with the rest of the audience, and I really liked it.
Okay.
I think it's worth checking out in January.
Okay. Inspector in January. Huh?
Yeah, Inspector. It was really cute, really interesting. Next few panels, I did an interview with Ryo Horikawa, who is best known as the voice of Vegeta.
And Detective Conan.
Because
I interviewed him too.
Yeah, he was Hattori Heiji in Detective Conan.
If you want to put a picture of me doing the Dragon Ball Z thing next to the guy, that's him.
Yeah.
So we're going to get, again, more footage of Shelby, who is wearing pants, by the way, at Crunchyroll.
I was wearing a lot of pants in this picture.
Yeah, just beat dub. She was wearing pants.
But Ryo Horikawa was great. He's like, he's been doing Vegeta since 1989.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's been in the industry forever. He did Andromeda Shun in Saint Seiya, in the original Saint Seiya, and then he did the voice of Captain Falcon in Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, like Japanese and American version.
Oh, right.
English
He
version.
also didn't think his role would last very long in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
is what he said.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't think I'd last that long.
Absolutely, because when Vegeta's introduced, he's just like the bad guy of the week.
Yeah.
He thought it was just a one-off.
Yeah.
Next thing
next thing you know, he's doing it for 30 years.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Talk about it. Talk about job security there.
He's
right?
also like he's very good at English.
Oh,
He is.
okay.
Yeah. He still needed like translation help for the complex questions, but like he can answer stuff in English.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
good. Yeah.
fun. And during our panel, I had him sing karaoke. He sang the opening to Saint Seiya
Okay.
to the audience, and some of that video is on my Twitter. So it's really fun.
Which, by the way, before we continue on, what is your Twitter?
My Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/name of the year.
Name of the year.
Name of the year.
Okay.
Whatever.
It'll be posted. Yep.
But yeah, Horikawa was great. He was a good sport, and it's so cool being able to interview these like industry
Famous
like
people,
veterans,
well, not famous veterans, but
these
like
veterans,
artists.
but like they're just so humble about it, you know.
Yeah. They're just regular human beings. They just happen to work in an industry that we all
we all are like madly in love with, and that like have shaped our entire childhood.
Yeah.
I got to do a couple of cool interviews too,
did you?
but I was impressed. So so they're not public interviews until we write it up and put it on the internet for all to see. But I got to interview Georgie Ito, which is why I have all these.
Cool.
I have all these cheat sheets of about his cat and his lizard. But he was really nice. He was really cool. And then that interview is going up soon. But I also got to interview the two of the voice actresses and the producer for Zombieland Saga. I got to interview Kaide Hondo and Asami Tano, and they are both really cool. Like you'd expect like really cool voice actors to be in Zombieland Saga, but they were really, really, really cool. Like they would be the best people to have at a birthday party. Like that's their personality. They were really fun. They were really nice. They were really funny, and they were really enthusiastic about what they were doing. So I really am happy that they got to attend Crunchyroll Expo. Especially, I know that Asami Tano is one of the Love Live girls too. She's from Saint Snow. She's Sarah. So that was like that was an extra like, oh no, you're my One-san. Like this is real cool.
Well
yeah. So I'm really so even like a little bit of Love Live snuck into Crunchyroll Expo.
That's cute.
That's any good convention has just a little bit of Love Live. Shout out to Anime NYC, which Guilty Kiss is going to be attending.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Guilty
Sick.
Kiss is
All
going to
right.
be attending.
That's cool.
Is going to be attending Anime NYC.
Yeah.
And one of the members of Hello Happy World will also be attending Anime NYC. So go to Anime. Don't go because I want to go to Anime NYC and see all the cool idol girls.
Just go. I mean, why not? Ivory Ice Han chiming in saying Saki is best zombie.
Saki is best zombie. Saki became my best girl after this interview. I need you to understand that, everybody. And then the producer's
Believe
really
it.
cool too. I got to interview the members of 22/7, and they're also really cool idol girls, and they talked about like their career and everything. And we asked them questions and everything. But and then I also got to interview the voice actor, and.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to remember.
No, fair.
It's like
What
Ohio.
like I forgot my Excel sheet, and then I got to interview Mary Franklin, who is one of the
that?
organizers of Crunchyroll Expo.
Right.
Oh.
So she's really cool as well.
It sounds like both of you were just.
It died.
Oh, okay.
Shelby's MacBook decided to go to sleep, and my sleep it powered out. So, both of you sound like you had really jam-packed Crunchyroll Expos, just on multiple ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a full weekend, so a lot of that stuff. 10 out of 10 would recommend Crunchyroll Expo.
That's my favorite convention.
Favorite.
That's a big.
Wow.
It hasn't disappointed me yet.
That's good. I'm glad.
Don't
Hey.
fail me next year, Crunchyroll
Hey,
Expo.
don't fail me now. Yeah, I recommend it, especially this year, especially after this year. I think it's really set itself apart from other conventions in the California area. And because, like, one of the best things about it, and the things that I've heard from a lot of attendees, is that it has all of the, like, appeal and all of the draw of a really big industry convention like Anime Expo, but it's not painful.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It doesn't hurt.
I love Anime Expo too.
I love Anime
Yeah,
Expo, but like,
yeah.
you know, end of that weekend, you're just like beat up. You've been walking miles and miles, and like,
I'm
it
pretty
hurts.
sure my hips are damaged because of Anime Expo.
You
I
know?
always have a midlife crisis after Anime Expo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My
That's
phone's
brutal.
different too.
I
There's
think
like
we'll all keep going to Anime Expo, but not always because we want to.
That's fine. I mean, truthfully, I've never been to Crunchyroll Expo, and I've always been hearing about it, and it just seems to steadily get better and better and better.
Yeah.
So, and I haven't gone to a NorCal convention in years, probably since like 2013, 2014. So, if Crunchyroll Expo is the one to get me to go, to return to NorCal and see all my NorCal friends, it sounds like a definite
Yeah.
blast. So,
I think it's worth it.
Crunchyroll Expo. Oh, so go ahead.
Okay. I also want to say like I really like that venue in San Jose. I always loved it during Fanime, and it's just got a good, like, the area is good. It's so easy to get food, which is like honestly a big deal for
gosh.
conventions. It's like literally in the middle of like a college town.
yeah.
It's so easy to get in and out of the airport if you're flying up. And it's just all the hotels are in easy walking distance and not a pain in the ass.
That's, yeah.
All of that like adds up to just make a really good and fun and easy experience. You know?
Yeah. Well, everything's like contained in one kind of centralized area.
Yeah.
You don't have to go too far to get to anything.
Right.
It's really nice.
I think a big part of it too is a lot of the Southern California conventions have been kind of congested. Not in a bad way, but there's just been so many conventions and so many events that I kind of feel like I really love the industry parts of Anime Expo. I really love that one guest that you bring to Fanime every year. But it's kind of hard to get to that if you're like going through. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of other things that people do and have fun with at conventions
Right.
that aren't as appealing to me, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
Just like hanging out and with their buddies, and I think that's really great. And I think if you're going to a convention for that, great, awesome. And there's plenty of conventions I love going to hang out with my friends, but I really want to go to a convention to like anime. And I feel like I can do that the best at Crunchyroll Expo. I like anime, and I want to
Right.
see how anime is made, the people who make my anime. I want to see that. I want to enjoy that.
Right.
I want to talk about that. It's much easier and more implied if you're going to Crunchyroll Expo that you know about what's going on.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think like if your main draw for conventions is like going to parties, I don't know if CRX is necessarily the best.
Okay.
Or if like maybe if you're really into cosplay, I don't know. I don't have the experience enough to know if the CRX is like really good at that. But if stuff like, meeting interesting guests that you don't see in America often, or if learning about industry stuff, like getting to see cool new artists and illustrators and animators and getting their autographs, getting stuff signed, getting to actually talk to them and meet them, or or getting to listen to like musicians that just come from Japan and like you've known for years but never imagined they'd come to America. Like,
And spit
if
on
that's-
you.
And spit on you. Get spit on. If you want to get spit on, come to Crunchyroll Expo, I think,
Thank you, Flo.
So, well, there will be a little bit more time until the next Crunchyroll Expo. Again, SoCal having a plethora of events going on. It seems almost weekly. One that I have to pitch out here because it's coming up soon, November 1st through 3rd, ladies and gentlemen, HentaiCon has
HentaiCon's different.
It is though.
It is. It is indeed.
Absolutely.
Again, HentaiCon happening November 1st through 3rd, again at the Burbank Convention Center and Hotel. That is in lovely Burbank, California. That's right by the Burbank airport
California.
as well. So if you're fancying a trip, HentaiCon last year was its first year out of I won't say out of control because it was actually very well contained and everybody
was
was
Very in control.
very
it was actually.
everybody was very respectful of one
Yeah.
another over there. So
I respectfully stepped on like two people.
the thought police didn't they tackle you?
I was tackled also.
Yes.
Oh no.
Consensually.
Yes.
Oh no.
But again, folks, this is an 18 and up convention. If you are interested, tickets and information, visit hentaicon.com for more details. Again, that is November 1st through 3rd
Nice.
at the Burbank Convention Center. Tickets still on sale. Again, check that out. That is, again, an 18 and up convention. convention, and most
Yeah.
importantly, consent is mandatory for everything there. So please be
At every
respectful.
convention,
At,
really.
At
at every
convention,
convention, definitely a huge thing. So
if you end your Halloween night and you're like disappointed, you want to party more, come to HentaiCon.
yeah, that is true because that is the day after Halloween.
And the party is really happening.
Yeah, so you've got a lot of options there. But if that's definitely one to check out too. But of course, we will be patiently waiting for the next Crunchyroll Expo. Did they announce dates for the next one yet?
They're
or?
usually on Labor Day.
So it's usually Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
Labor Day
So
weekend.
and that's end of August. Yeah.
So you get a chance. So you get to go to Crunchyroll Expo, and it's Labor Day weekend. So then you get that Monday to make.
True.
They always give you that Monday.
They do give you that Monday.
Thank you,
Recover.
Crunchyroll-san.
Yeah, right.
Labor Day is like a packed weekend though for like conventions
It
around
is.
around the country.
Yeah.
It's the
San
same.
Japan.
San Japan. There's PAX West.
San Japan.
There's Dragon Con.
Dragon Con. Brutal.
You know.
It's like take your pick. You go.
and then
anywhere.
something else. I don't know. Other stuff on the East Coast, I believe.
Yeah, PAX West, Dragon Con, Crunchyroll Expo, San Japan.
So many.
Or if you were me, stay at home con and do laundry, which you kind of have to do. I think after all the events like Anime California, I still hadn't. I barely got to doing my laundry yesterday. So
Speaking of Anime California, we producer Angelo over there and I and director Franco of all international business. We gave ourselves titles, but I forget what they were. It's been
Okay.
2 weeks. We the stream team officially named do have stuff going up soon from all the interviews. We did about 20 interviews during Anime California.
Okay.
With Kaho Shibuya,
Kaho.
Haru.
Yes.
Kohei,
Oh.
and many others.
All right, so a lot of good stuff coming from the Anime California. I think you as part of the stream team, you went live, and a lot of that's out there, but there's even more.
There's
footage.
high quality footage coming soon.
Okay,
Ooh.
so you get the HD stuff,
HQ.
right?
HQ.
So definitely just checking in with the chat here. Ivory Ice Han saying September 4th through 6th. Also SAC Anime around
cool.
there too.
Oh,
Daryl
right.
Soriano saying like moving on Labor Day is more like packed West.
Oh, I also helped Daryl move the day after on.
Wow.
The day after. I
Shelby.
went home.
Wow.
Yeah. I helped my friends
Crazy.
move.
That sounds good.
Enjoy your apartment, friends.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of the show. So again, do want to give huge thanks to Elliot here. Thanks again for joining us here.
Thanks for inviting me so much.
Can we thank the audience? I was
Thank you, audience, for
Yes.
Thank you,
watching.
audience.
Again,
But
folks,
also more importantly, thank you, Elliot, for coming.
Thank you. They thank me, and I thank you.
Elliot, out of curiosity, before we go, just a couple things again.
Yeah.
Thank you. What's one anime that you're looking forward to that was announced at Crunchyroll, aside from the ones that we've discussed?
Oh man,
Yeah,
'Cause I was gonna say Uzumaki.
I was gonna say yeah, but I'm taking that off the table. What else? Are you looking forward to?
I need to Google what they announced. I don't know what else they announced.
I'm
New anime
well, he
Crunchyroll
Googles, Andy, where can we follow
announcements.
you?
You guys can follow me at Andrew J. Alandi on Instagram and Twitter, or if you're into fighting games, I did create a separate Twitter for that. The Twitter is Duralath, my actual game, fighting game moniker, which I've been using for way too long. If you want to talk fighting games, please let me know, or if you guys want to just discuss anime, anything in general, please shoot me a follow. Instagram and Twitter again, Andrew J. Alandi. That's where I'm always at. Would love to talk with everybody. So, all right. So, Elliot, Mr. 10 Panel Trinidad, what are you checking out?
I don't know.
Just-
Oh, did they announce?
Mob
Hold on, Mob Psycho season 2 OVA. I like
That's
that.
because that's the first one that's listed. You
Listen, I
cheated.
love Mob Psycho. I don't care.
Okay.
Also, Mad Kid. We forgot about Mad Kid.
Oh,
Mad
yeah,
Kid.
Mad-
We
I
love
thought
you,
Mad
Mad
Kid was
Kid. We love you,
They
Mad
were
Kid.
there.
You played.
They're good.
They're good. They're good. Mad Kid, you're cool.
They're really hot in person. Like,
Oh.
like pop stars are hot, but like, sometimes you just see them in person. You're like, fuck, this is real life, and you're still hot.
I thought you were like they were like physically like they were too hot. And you were like I was like, oh no,
I mean,
poor
I'm that
Mad
too. I'm
Kid.
sure that too.
Probably that too. Yeah, there was like a giant heat wave this weekend. so.
Not in San Jose.
Oh, was it?
Thankfully, the weather was good.
Oh, so jealous.
Thankfully.
We died out here. In
I know.
SoCal.
Now we're back here, and it's
Yeah.
hot.
Ryu.
Didn't they announce something in relation to Rising of the Shield Hero?
They did.
Oh, I
Seasons
think
2 and 3.
Yeah,
Seasons
season 2 and 3 announced. That's
Very-
official. That's cool. That's
very
cool.
hype about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too. So, but again, a lot of good stuff came out of Crunchyroll Expo. So definitely looking forward to next year, and looking forward to what you'll be hosting next year
Thank
for
you.
Crunchyroll Expo.
I don't know yet either.
It remains to be seen, but perhaps 10 panel Trinidad will evolve into 15
I
panel.
would hate that.
47 panel Trinidad.
There's only 3 days.
There's only 3 days, and you're gonna host all of them.
Look, 3 days, 5 panels per day. You can do that.
Sure,
You're
I
fine.
can do that.
All right. Before we forget,
Uh-huh.
Elliot, where can they follow you again?
You can find me online, mostly on Twitter or Instagram at Name of the Year.
Name of the year. Okay.
Yes.
So Instagram and Twitter. Name of the year. Very easy to follow. Search up Name of the Year.
Thank you.
And last but not least, our fearless host,
Fearless.
Shelby McWeeb, the one who is just the stalwart. Where do we follow you?
My name is Shelby Mcweeb, and I am on Instagram, Twitter, and I also run Bombshell Media on Facebook. Please give it a like and follow me on Twitter and Instagram as Shelby Mcweeb.
I just realized, by the way, seeing as the main console's dead, somebody else has to push the button to end.
Angelo,
which is
kill
fine.
us.
Which is fine, folks. Again, huge shout outs to Anime Impulse as well. Thank you for hosting us again in San Anime October 24th at the Reserve. Visit animeimpulse.com for tickets and more info. Also, HensaiCon November 1st through 3rd at the Burbank Convention Center. Visit hensaicon.com for more details. Folks, make sure you've liked Relentless Weebs and Bombshell Media on Facebook. We are Relentless Weebs, again, your one-stop shop for all things anime, all topics anime. Here you learn the kawaii philosophy. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another episode of Relentless Weebs. Take care!
Bye.
And good night. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hit the button,
Bye.
please.
Bye.